Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 5th episode of Practically My Monologue, and happy fucking Halloween. Oh my gosh, Halloween is literally one of my favorite holidays. It's the kickoff to the holiday season. I'm obsessed. I love it. If you guys don't know already, my name's Nina, but most of you already do. And I actually wanted to start off with what I did for Halloween. So I had a fucking great Halloween weekend. The 28th, the 28th, which was a Saturday, I started drinking at noon, which I usually don't do. That's not something I do. I'm not a big drinker. But we went out to Coco. I was drinking. We walked along the fucking beach. It was beautiful. The water was chilly because it's getting a little bit cooler down here. Yeah, it was beautiful down there. I really enjoyed my time. We went to the beach bar, had a couple beers, ended up talking to this dude who gave me some really, really sound advice and also just a good factoid. And I will repeat it for you. Quote, "No matter what they tell you, cocaine doesn't rot your teeth," and then proceeds to show me all of his rotten teeth. So that's how that went. But it was a good fucking time. I love that dude. He was great. But that was really fun. Then we came back and we stopped at a brewery and had a beer there. We played some checkers. And then we went to Target and I picked up a hair straightener. Kyle straightened my hair, y'all. Kyle straightened my fucking hair. I love this dude, bro. I love this dude. And he did a good fucking job, too. He did a hella good job. We were Mia and Vincent from Pulp Fiction. Absolutely awesome. He wore his suit. He looked so spiffy. I had my hair straightened, which I always love. And it also showed me how long my fucking hair has gotten. So that was awesome. Then we went downtown Orlando, which is usually wild as fuck. And on Halloween, it's definitely still fucking wild, but it was so much fucking fun. Everybody was dressed up. There were so many beautiful girls with their ass and titties out. It was awesome. There was dudes with really fucking cool costumes. The bars were packed. The drinks were great. It was a fucking wild time. Kyle danced with me at this bar. I almost got into an argument with some dude who wouldn't stop hitting on me. It was fucking awesome. We had such a fun time. And then the next day, sorry if you can hear any of the lawn care, by the way. I had to wait for the dishwasher to stop fucking running, and I needed to film this because it's been 2 weeks since I uploaded. But Sunday we got up a little late, a little hungover. We went for a big walk, and then we went to the pool, which is freezing cold. I think it was actually colder than the ocean, not gonna lie. But so that was cold, and then we came back, rinsed off, and then we went and cleaned out the truck, made that look all nice and spiffy. And I cleaned up a little bit around the house. I cleaned out my closet and stuff like that. And then I had work yesterday. So yeah, all in all, a great fucking weekend. I'm not doing too much on the Halloween day. It's a weekday. He's at school and all that. So, but yeah, I had an awesome fucking Halloween and Halloween weekend. I hope you guys did too. Fucking blast. Put in the comments what the fuck you guys wore. I want to know. Hell yes. That'd be fun. So I definitely wanted to touch on that a little bit because I love Halloween. But getting into a little bit more of a serious topic, but I'm going to try and keep it a little lighthearted today because I feel like the last 2 episodes I've put out are kind of like not necessarily bummers or anything because there's always humor, you know, but something a little more positive, right? So lately, I think I had 1 or 2 different podcasts about, you know, my mental health and just mental health in general and how I am really trying to take control of my emotions and keep shit in my brain that's good to keep reminding me of what I need to be focusing on. To kind of go off of that, I mean, I think I said that I kind of taped up some quotes on my closet door and they're still there. And I'm going to give out a couple of the ones that I have. So the first one is, you need to let go of how another human behaves. Now, that is some shit that's very, very, very fucking hard to do, especially for me. I think a lot of the friends that I have listening to this know I have a temper. And there's actually a little topic I'll talk about later on when I got enraged. But I definitely do get a little angry, and I don't think I want that anymore. I think it's good to be able to get angry. I think it's good to be able to express those feelings, and that in turn is also used specifically for me. When I get angry, it's usually in cases where I need to defend myself, and another little story will come up later. But I just get frustrated. And then I also get frustrated about little things that don't fucking matter. And those are the things I need to let go. Because I think a lot of times people in their 20s are still trying to figure out, who they are, what the fuck they're doing, how to control themselves and all that shit. And I'm definitely in the early stages. I'm 21, right? But I don't want it to take as long as I've seen it take for other people to get a grasp on their emotions and shit. I definitely can be a little wild and aggressive, and over the little things, it's definitely not necessary. Even if it's just little shit that Kyle's doing or the way that my day's going, I get enraged and I choose to stay angry. And another quote, diving right back in, is everyone deserves happiness, but remember, it's a choice. So, and deserves is kind of, up in the air because a lot of people are saying, no one deserves anything. And that's true. But I think that we can all say that a lot of people and everybody should be able to be happy. And that is your choice. And that's something that I didn't really understand. I think just the way I grew up, my mom was always had to be on. She's a single mom. She had 3 fucking jobs all the time. She was taking care of me and other family members and just friends along the way because she's a very caring person. So she always had to be on. She always had to have that guard up. And that's what I saw. And then that's what I assumed I always had to have. And don't get me wrong. She taught me a great fucking lesson of standing up for myself. I don't take no shit, right? I also have to know how to let that guard down, and also pick and choose my battles, right? So, yeah, I think, happiness definitely it's a choice. And it's a hard choice to make. It's easy to be angry. It's easy to be, for me anyway, it's easy to be angry. It's easy to be irritable. It's easier to keep myself in a bad mood rather than uplifting myself and saying, hey, this isn't necessary. Come on, let's fix the shit. And another quote that I actually don't have up right now, that is just kind of something in my head is stop doubting yourself. That's where my problems, and I think a lot of other people's problems come from, is when you're doubting yourself. I have started listening to a mental health podcast and stuff like that, and it's a woman who actually helps other women. And the self-doubt and the people-pleasing type thing is also just, it's a kind of a woman thing, right? Not to say it's not a man's thing, but I doubt my ability to make myself feel better. And something I've always thought is, the only person you can rely on is yourself. And I still believe that. Why can't I believe that when I need to make myself feel better, right? I think that doubt really gets in the way of a lot of achievements that I could have made. And even just small things with my mental, I doubt my ability to make myself feel better. I will tell myself when something's really not a big deal that it is. And then I'm like, wait, no, it's not. I'm like, but it is though. And so it's basically like the devil and the angel on my shoulder all the time, just screaming in my fucking ears. So I'm kind of just always going back and forth. And I don't know why I need to doubt myself. I guess kind of going into, I guess we're going to mix some topics here. Let's see if I can keep track. But, with the doubt, I think a lot of that stems from learning how to be an adult. And I'm always doubting my decisions. And kind of stepping into a different topic that I had written down, I did not expect anything like what's going on in my life. I didn't expect this to be happening as the beginning of my adult life. I think what makes me uncomfortable is the uncertainty. I don't like uncertainty. And that's all that life is. and especially being an adult. You know, when you're a kid, your parents kind of map out your life for you a little bit. They're helping you along the way. When you're an adult, there's no one doing that for you. You are in control of your own shit. And it's terrifying. And I think people talk about that, but they don't talk about it enough, because when you need to pay your bills, when you need to go grocery shopping, when you need to go pick up an outfit for work, when you need anything, it's all you now. No one's helping you do that. And that's fine. I'm fine with doing those things by myself. A lot of you guys know I'm an only child. So my mom was always fucking there. She's done amazing shit for me. Too much shit. But I also had that, responsibility of I was alone a lot. So I always still had that responsibility of doing stuff. I was going grocery shopping. I was working, when I was younger and stuff like that. That doesn't bother me. That's fine. It's the mental state that early adulthood puts you in, where I'm just constantly doubting myself and I'm doubting my decisions. But I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I think is best, and it's okay to make mistakes. I'm petrified of making mistakes, and that's all life is you making mistakes, you learning, and then you'll get one right, and you're like, fuck yeah, But making mistakes is a huge part of being an adult, and learning from them is an even bigger part. And I just doubt myself so much that I don't even give myself the time of day to make a mistake so I can learn. And I think I'm getting better at that now, but it's extremely important, and it's also really difficult because I've just always never wanted to do the wrong thing. I don't think anybody wants to do the wrong thing. Everybody wants their life to go the best as possible, but that doesn't happen. There's a lot of times where life throws you a shit ton of fucking curveballs at once, and you're like, I don't know how I'm still fucking standing. But I'm still standing and I'm still here. And that's something to be happy about. That's something to be grateful for. And that's something I'm working on. Because no matter how bad my life can seem, I'm doing air quotes because my life's not that bad. It can always be worse. But, I just need to stop the doubt of this shit, I don't know. I just think that doubting yourself in your adulthood and your decisions is extremely damaging, not only to your self-esteem, but to just your life goals in general. Because I think learning and making mistakes and trying to be a better person all the time is really important. And when you're doubting yourself all the time, you're not even giving yourself the opportunity. So I'm trying to learn how to be comfortable with my thoughts and how to be comfortable with my decisions, because there is no, I can always call my mom and be like, what do you think if I did this? But there shouldn't be that need to do that. I feel the need for other people's approval on my decisions. And that's strictly a me thing. I'm sure other people probably feel the same way, but I need to just stop, I think a lot of things that have just kind of been, coming into my head are like, I have had 2 traumatic experiences, one of which being my ex-boyfriend, the second being this move and fully embracing adulthood. And I did it in, I think, a more extravagant way than a lot of people have. It's not a new way by any means, but it's different. A lot of people move out and they're in the same state. A lot of people move out and they're in a different state. And a lot of times it's for school, or they've moved in with their boyfriend or a roommate and stuff like that. I moved over 1,000 miles away from everyone that I know, with a dude that I knew I've known him for a year and a half, and we started dating, and about 5 to 6 months into our dating, we're like, I guess we're going to move. Because I didn't want to lose him, and then he was going to leave. So I'm like, hold on. And that's not me chasing him by any means, because I've always wanted to move to Florida. Sitting here in Florida, I don't know why, but I've always wanted to. And I'm like, I'm young, I can do this. I put that faith in myself, but the whole time I doubted myself at the same exact time. And I think that's normal, but I also think that it did not make the move any easier for me. So when I say that that was a traumatic experience, a lot of that was my own mental doing it to me. And then also it's extremely fucking stressful. And I spent a lot of money. I had saved so much money as a young woman, I think there's definitely more money to be had than what I had. But for me and for where I came from, that was a good amount. And that is pretty much completely gone now. So that's definitely jolting and stressful. And I think that it needed to be done. I'm glad that I did this, but also it was extremely difficult. But yet the thing is, another topic, pride. Pride isn't something that I have strongly felt about myself. And I realized that, after the move down here because, I told myself, I'm fucking amazing for doing this. Like, holy fuck. There's people that, there's friends that aren't able to do this. And I was able to do this because I made it my dream and I did it. There wasn't the pride though. There was like, okay, it's done. And now what? Like, I didn't even give myself, the validation of what the fuck did I just do? Hey, holy shit. Look at this. Look what you've done for yourself. Like, now I'm finally, I think, starting to get comfortable enough down here, which we're literally moving in 5 months. So like, it's kind of, I don't know why it took me so long, but also it kind of makes sense. I'm starting to adjust and I'm looking around my apartment. I'm like, yeah, this is my apartment. This is my fucking apartment. Like I live in fucking Florida. This is cool. I'm finally being able to enjoy it a bit. I think the stress of not having to look for a job anymore helps. Because I don't have that stressor. But yeah, I think self-doubt as a young person creates a shit ton of depression and anxiety, which I already have a shit ton of, so I really didn't need any more. But then I also, since I'm trying to work on giving myself credit, I have made it so that I'm forcing myself to look at things that I'm doing and be proud of them because I should be. And although doubting your decisions is hard to not do, I'm really working on that because there's going to be a day where I want to have kids and you can doubt yourself, but you got to get your shit together. I try and use that example because I'm not trying to have kids anytime soon at all. Don't be worried, Mom. But I think it's kind of maybe a little bit of a strategy for me to be able to be like, okay, I need to start focusing on what I need to be doing and just going with my decisions and not freaking the fuck out about it, because it's not worth it. And I'm tired of doing it. I'm tired of making myself feel that way because I hear it from my friends all the time. You're a great person. You're so funny. I miss you. And there's a reason why they miss me. Because I'm a good person. So I need to stop doubting my ability to be a good person, to have characteristics that people find interesting. I need to stop doing that. And I think the doubt really stemmed from spending a lot of time in this apartment by myself because it took me so long to find a job. I still don't have any friends down here and I really don't feel like I'm going to get any. Not that I'm opposed to it at all, believe me, but even though I was going out and exercising and doing things with Kyle, it just started to eat the fuck away at me and just eat at me and eat at me and eat at me that, did I make a mistake? Is this a mistake? What's wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? And the real thing is, there's nothing wrong with me. That's a normal feeling. It's a big move. It's a big decision. And you're allowed to feel a certain type of way even after you made that. So I think in a way I'm being hard on myself, for normal things of being a woman and all that shit. But I'm being hard on myself in a good way now because I'm like, nope, we're not thinking that way. No, we're not thinking that way. I'm correcting my mind's behavior because we are in control of our minds. There's no one else that is. Thoughts, they come and they go. It's whether or not we cling on to them that's important. Because thoughts are something, there's intrusive thoughts. There's productive thoughts. There's bad thoughts, And then I would doubt my thoughts because I would get so deep into these holes of where I would be like, wait a minute. Wait, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? I'm like, wait, whoa. Hold on a minute. Why do I feel the need to doubt myself? And why am I not validating certain things that I'm feeling and moving on? Dwelling is something that does absolutely nothing for you. So I'm trying to, embrace the inner hippie that I have, because I have that. I am that way. Believe it or not, I am chill. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I am. And I try my best to be. And it's little things like motherfuckers fucking up in traffic, people not saying excuse me, that send me. And I'm like, hold on. That's another human's behavior. I cannot control that. I'm going to move on. Am I going to do that perfect every time? No. Do I need to dwell on the fact that I didn't do it perfect? No. Because life is something that you're going to make many, many mistakes at. And that's just the way that it fucking is. So just accepting that and moving on, my boyfriend and also a friend back home said, I'm not going to be expecting things from people anymore. And that is something that's a sad statement to me and also very helpful. It's another quote. Kyle's been this way for a minute. I think she is, she's so intelligent. She's so smart, and she is so mature for her age, and she kills it on the daily. She grinds, and she's so young. And she said that, and I'm like, you know what? That's sad, because I can think back to stories that my mom and my grandma have told me about back in the day, and even just thinking about my old neighborhood. I didn't necessarily expect things from people, but people just showed me the correct amount of respect. Not all of my life. Do not get me wrong. But by respect, I mean hospitality. Let's say hospitality. Everyone was hospitable. Everybody said, excuse me. It's also just the Midwest, so it's ope, like we don't want to get in people's way. We don't want to do the wrong thing. Don't get me wrong. There's people that want to fuck up all the time everywhere. It's not just in the Midwest that it's perfect, because it's not. To not expect things from people, to me, that means, and on Kyle's level, it's different, but I don't expect you to say please or thank you. I don't expect you to move out of my way when I'm trying to get into a certain lane, or if I'm trying to go through an aisle in the grocery store, if I'm trying to get in line at a gas station. To not expect anything, so that when it does happen, it feels better. That's how I'm taking it. Everybody has their own opinion on the quote, but it's like, to a certain degree, I think I'm going to be working on that. Almost in the way of like, of course, why would they say excuse me? Because me and my friends, we joke about that stuff all the time. But to actually kind of take that literal, so that when the normal niceties actually do happen, you're happier, because it just comes off better, and it's surprising. So it's kind of a weird quote. I'm still fiddling with it in my mind, because I'm like, I don't know if I feel like it's so sad still. I just feel like that's so sad that's how we have to think about things in order to move on. But it's true. I'm getting paid $12 an hour at my job right now. Does that cover my bills? No, not really. Could I work another day? Probably. Do I want to? No. But that's the way it is right now. I'm not going to try and fight it. This is kind of going on that topic of that quote. It's just a little bit of a different perception. It's like, this is what I'm doing right now, and this is just how it is right now. Doesn't mean it needs to stay that way forever. And recognizing impermanence, where it's not going to be permanent. It's not going to be temporary. Everything is temporary. And just to keep going on with different adventures and not to dwell on things too much. I think that is something that hopefully just talking like this has helped you, because I know that it helps me, because I think we take things so seriously, so literally, especially in this generation, and we're so sensitive that things bother us so much. But in reality, it really means nothing. And if you look at the people that said something mean to you, or they fucked up in traffic, or they do this or they do that, look at the person that they are and think about, hey, maybe what they've been through that day. And honestly, I don't really do that, because if you fuck up that bad, I get pissed regardless. I'm working on it, but I still get pissed. But, just to let things roll off, I've literally been shaking my body, just like kind of like jazz hands, but my whole arms, getting negative energy off of me, letting things that people say to me roll off. Because there's a lot of, I nitpick at people, and there's no reason to do that, because I don't need that person to be my friend. I don't need to make that person my friend. I don't at all. So if they just said something to me with a snotty tone, I don't need to take that and absorb that. I can take that and either give it back if I'm feeling sassy, or be extra nice, or my favorite is silent and nod. That's just what I do, because it's just silent and nod. So yeah, I just think really trying to take control of what the fuck's going on in my brain is definitely going to be beneficial. And I think that validating, because I talked about this, I think in the last episode, validating my hormonal cycles and stuff like that, and being like, okay, I know why I'm being grumpy right now. I'm a week out of my period. I'm going to feel like this. I think because I've noticed, because I'm just paying so much more attention to my body and my mind and seeing how they're connected. And I'm like, okay, I get these nasty thoughts about a week out. Okay, so I know why they're coming. I know where they're coming from. Let me distract myself. I can journal about them if they're bothering me, or I can go down to the pool. I can go for a walk. I can watch a video. I can talk to Kyle. I can paint a picture. Yeah, I can do all these things because I know why that's happening. Like I said, I don't like uncertainty. So to have a valid reason of why this shit's happening does make me feel better, but then I doubt it. Even though it happens every single month, I still doubt it. So that's just another thing I'm going to be practicing. But yeah, so that was just something I kind of want to talk about. Some quotes. Another one is, you don't have to be uncomfortable. I'm used to just being uncomfortable. I think I kind of talked about that. I was sitting on the remote, I think the last time I recorded a podcast, and I just kept sitting on it. Why not move it? And it's not because I'm lazy. I just figure, But if I just moved it, I'd be way more comfortable. If I readjusted the pillow on the couch, I'd be more comfortable. If I didn't sit on this leg, it wouldn't fall asleep and I'd be fine, Just little itty bitty tiny different things of just, hey, validating that, okay, I don't need to be doing this. Let me fix this so I'm more comfortable. I don't know why I believe I need to be uncomfortable all the fucking time. And I'm like, hold on. So just making myself more comfortable in my brain and in my body and in my skin is going to definitely make a change. And I'm very excited to see how that happens, because I'm just kind of done with feeling like shit, Another example is it was Halloween, right? And there was this chick on Snapchat, and she posted a story of her Halloween costume, and it immediately made me feel terrible about my body. And she looked awesome. She looked hot as fuck. Good for her. But I felt like shit. I felt, why do my hips not do that? Why are my legs not looking like that? Why does my hair and it's like, I lost it because I had just started my period, so I was very hormonal and upset and sad. I lost it and I just got upset, and I'm like, hold the fuck on. And this was an example of me practicing this. I don't look like her. I don't have the same curves. I don't even have the same hair at all. I don't have the same skin complexion. I'm not even the same height. It isn't going to work. I'm not ever going to be her. You can, of course, give compliments and tell her that she looks great. But to compare myself, in comparing anything, comparing anyone's mental state against yours, comparing anyone's hair, makeup, anything, of course, you can be like, you can get inspired and want to have your makeup look like somebody. But to make yourself feel like shit, or just to feel less than because of somebody else's picture, this is another reason I'm trying to get rid of Snapchat. It's just like, I don't need to look at this anymore. I haven't even been going to the gym. I've been doing home workouts, because it's like, and there's a lot of girls there that are really mean looking. Like I'll look at them and smile because I'm really just trying to be friendly and make friends down here. I'm not being like a creep. I just grin, or just nod, and they just immediately give me a dirty fucking look. And I'm like, who hurt you? It's just like, who made it so that you can't be nice to a fellow chick in the gym? Why do you find me to be competition? I don't even know who you are. So just the comparing is something that women just always do. And I'm just trying to get rid of that as well. That by no means is this shit easy. It's hard as fuck. It's really difficult. And I still slip and I still cry and I still get upset. But the fact that I'm making mental notes to start fixing this shit, it makes me proud. It makes me happy. This is shit that I should be doing because it's my job to make my mental well-being feel good. And to make myself feel better. That's my job. That's the one thing besides, an actual job and doing dishes and all that shit. It's my one thing that you have to do as an adult is to make sure that you're okay, that you can function the best that you possibly can. And by no means do I mean every day you're going to feel fucking awesome, right? You're not. Everybody has a bad day. But to even look into why you are having a bad day, to validate that, the whole self-care thing, I think absolutely, but still don't let that get in the way of doing things that you need to do, maybe once or twice a month, maybe, slack a little bit, but keeping your house clean, I know it's hard to do, especially when you're in a depressive state, but that shit makes you feel better. So if there's shit that I can do to make me feel better, I'm going to be doing that stuff. So, and that's a little pact I've made with myself and with you guys. Fuck it, But yeah, but kind of back to the friend thing, right? And kind of the woman thing I was talking about, the gym. I've noticed, a lot of women my age, hence why I don't hang out with tons my age. I have probably about four girlfriends I talk to on a regular basis that are around my age that are cool. And then there's girls that are also my age that are so in depth, or so into this social media and looks and superficial bullshit that I've really taken a notice to it. I've seen what's going on just being out and about, when we're downtown on Halloween, which, it's a different kind of night. So I don't really have hard feelings about anything, but I just noticed the way that women look at me, and I try not to take anything personal. And it's not just me. I've seen them look at other women like this too. And I'm wondering why we do this. And I probably do it, We look at other women with the most dirty fucking look in the entire world. And I've gotten this. I'm sure everyone has. I'm like, I don't know you. I have no idea who the fuck you are. What makes it so that you feel like instead of smiling or just being quiet or looking away, you need to look me up and down and give me a dirty ass look? And that's why it's like really off-putting to make friends my age, because I would totally like some more friends my age, because I usually hang out with older dudes. Like my old job at the liquor store, it was older dudes that I just was friends with, strictly friends with. Even some of the guys I had met there who I just kind of stayed pals with, like I talked to them. I had a friend, we're not really friends anymore because he's gotten kind of creepy, but he was older and we would talk all the time, and I just relate more to men in a certain way. I don't know if it's because, I burp and fart and I have no remorse for it or what the fuck's going on, or if I just prefer anyone, male or female, that's just a real person and not addicted to their cell phones, and not glued on and not wanting to talk to me in like the Gen Z slang and talk about TikToks, So I've just noticed how, women have been treating each other, and, they always are saying, feminism and body positivity and all this shit. It's like, no, it really isn't like that though. It isn't. I think that's something that we've made to seem like we're not as shitty, And I think there is totally people that definitely believe in the body positivity and shit like that, and feminism and shit like that. But Yeah, I just think that women are really fucking mean to each other. Like, even my mom, she's got a new job, and there's this chick there who, and my mom is really nothing but nice. She's just trying to get her fucking work done. She doesn't care. And she's a fucking bitch to my mom for no fucking reason. And I'm like, hold on a minute, hold on. No one did anything to you. And then you feel the need to have this nasty ass attitude for no reason. Like, how do you come in at a full 100 all the time with your like bitchiness? Even 85 is still too fast, dude. Like, I just don't get like why people hold that tension and that anger. And don't get me wrong, I hold anger too. I just get mad in traffic. And I get mad when people aren't hospitable, or just because I don't even need hospitality. I just need to be treated like I'm a human being. And I don't think people do that. I think it's the city as well that doesn't do that, But yeah, I don't know why it's so difficult to make friends as a woman. I mean, I do. I just said it. But it's like, I don't see what people gain from being mean and feeling like they need to be better than other people. I think that we have such a false perception of reality given to us through social media and our phones and, just what everyone's saying, people that are celebrities are saying. And it's like, hold on, can we just be real? Can we be honest and real and just friendly instead of constantly competing with people and treating others as though they're less than because I'm thicker than you, or you think I'm pretty, or you hate my makeup, or you can't. I mean, it's just, even if it's like a race thing, I don't know. I have no idea. I just think that I've noticed, I think maybe it's just city women, because there's tons of really cool chicks that I'm sure I haven't met yet in my lifetime, and they're going to be fucking awesome, and I'm very excited for it. But as of now, it's like really crazy how women just like are so catty, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's a weird hot take. But my last topic today is going to be about that raging, the raging and the aggression and the standing up for myself and all that. So 4 or 5 days ago, I had a nice day to myself. Kyle was at school. I was off of work. I went and got my nails done and had a little White Claw. Was sitting around and, waited, and then went and picked him up. And I stopped at the racetrack, a gas station, on the way over to his school. I hopped out because I was going to get some gas, fill up the truck. And I immediately start to hear whistling and cat calling. So I look up, and there's these two men loading ice into a cooler. So they're working on the job, okay? Screaming at me, waving at me, whistling at me. They caught me on an off moment, where I got angry. It wasn't, I usually, when I get that shit, actually lately I've been getting really mad because I don't like the entitlement that men somehow feel. Even in their cars, every morning I go for a big walk. I get at least 1 to 3 honks a day at me. And I'm listening to fucking Metallica. I'm listening to Baby Tron. I'm doing my shit. I'm going on my walk. I'm fixing my mental, maybe a Joe Rogan podcast here and there. I'm minding my own motherfucking business. And these motherfuckers think they can honk at me. You mean you're sitting in your car? What if I walked up to you? Huh? I walk up to your car in the street. Or I walk up to these guys at the gas station. No. Instead, I gave them the finger. Okay, cool. So I'm pumping my gas. I gave them the finger. I was silent at first, just the finger. That, to me, is your first fucking warning. Okay? I think a lot of men don't realize that there are women who like that. There's women that like that. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes, if it's done correctly, it can be flattering. I have a boyfriend, but it can be flattering and thanks, whatever, bye. Okay. And then I always let them know I have a boyfriend. Oh, my boyfriend's about to pull up right now, so I always do that. But they continue to whistle and honk at me and yell at me. And I said, can I fucking help you? And I screamed this across the racetrack parking lot. Can I fucking help you? And they go, whoa, whoa. And this is after they reacted to my finger and they were all laughing and shit like that. They go, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, do you think that this is going to get you something? Does this help you in your day-to-day life by doing this? No, of course it doesn't, right? So I'm like, that's why you're over there. And they're still screaming and catcalling and waving and stuff like that. I'm like, that's why you're over there. And you couldn't walk your sagging ass fucking pants over here, be a gentleman and say, I think you look very beautiful. I would have told you, buzz off. I have a boyfriend. Bye. Have a nice day. I always try and be nice when I have to reject a dude. Because I realize, like me and Kyle had talked about on the 3rd episode, I think, guys get rejected a lot. Bad for the self-esteem. So I say, no, thank you. Bye. Have a wonderful day. I try not to get too mad. This, however, no, it just wasn't the right day. They caught me on a bad day. And I don't feel bad for them at all because they deserved what was coming. But no, I'm like, that's why you don't get any pussy, because you're a nasty ass hoe. Didn't say nasty ass hoe, but I said that's why you don't get any pussy. I am getting re-mad about it right now. But I'm like, that's why you don't get any pussy, because you do shit like this. And then that right there, I've attacked their ego. Now they go into, you not even that fine anyway. You not even that fine anyway. I'm like, okay. So then I, draw the tears with my finger going down my face because that just hurts my feelings so much that now I'm not fine to them because I've just called them on their bullshit. No, and then they continued to do that, and then they screamed and hollered at me the whole fucking time I pumped. And I put $60 of diesel in this fucking truck. Let me get a sip of water. No, I put $60 of fucking diesel in this truck. So it was pumping, it had been pumping. And they kept fucking going with this shit. And I made, my crying emojis, or my crying face. I'm so fucking upset, blah, blah, blah. And then it kind of died down and I was hopping back in the truck. This FedEx driver who had saw the whole thing comes over to me. Very, very sweet man. He goes, get their truck number, call their company, and complain. And I said, it's really not that deep. The funny thing is, I'm driving my boyfriend's truck. I'm bringing him food, and he paid for my nails to get done. So that's what's funny about all of this, is because although he's not here, he can't defend me. I have a guy that actually respects me, and what these men are doing here is ignorance and disrespectful. So I said, it's not that deep. I did end up taking a picture of their truck. Sorry, my ear is hella itchy for some reason. I did try and take a picture of their truck. I tried to call the company that I thought it was. Turns out it was like a rented trailer for this ice company or something. I couldn't really complain. But what really just irked me was the fact that they felt entitled enough to do that. They were that stupid and ignorant. Clearly, they don't know how to be a real man, and hopefully they'll learn that. And then the main thing, I always try and say, I usually always get mad instead of saying this, though. And now that I'm thinking about it and saying it out loud, I am going to just say this. How would you like it if this was happening to your daughter, your sister, your mother, your niece? How would you like that? How would you like that if you saw that happening to a family member of yours? You wouldn't like it. You'd be mad. That's how my boyfriend feels. He don't appreciate that shit. You are disrespecting my man when you're doing that. It's rude. I've already given you the warning, the finger. You could have just laughed it off and been quiet the whole time I pumped my gas and left me alone. You chose not to. You chose to do that. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to provoke you besides getting out of the fucking truck. And that's why I think there's a lot of men. I think there's a lot of men that are actually, they're young and they're really trying to be a man. I've seen a lot of this happening and just talking to some friends, and I think that is happening. Things are trying, they're turning around. But that's not a real man. I know that, and I know that it's pure disrespect. So I just try and get over those types of things, but it's just very difficult because they are so ignorant and so stupid that angers me to a very deep level, and I cannot fucking take it because I don't know who the fuck you think you are. Because women might do that to men. Usually men like it. Not all the time though. Not all the time. We don't scream at you. We don't go, "Hey babe." Like, no, I've never done that. I might have waved or yelled "hi" out the window with my friends, but I don't catcall the fuck out of you. I don't make it feel dangerous to pump my fucking gas for you. I don't do that. So if you could just keep your fucking head down and leave me the fuck alone, or be a real man about some shit, that would be ideal. But no, there was a dude that even came into the store that I work at, and he goes, "What's a beautiful girl like you working in a store like this for?" You know, the whole normal bullshit. And I said, "It's just a fucking job, dude." You know, he's like, "Well, you are stunning. I just wanted to tell you that you are stunning." And I'm like, "Thank you." Okay. And then I just left it alone. And then on the way out, he goes, "I'm going to get your number. You're going to see. I'm going to come back and get your number." I'm like, "I have a boyfriend. I have a boyfriend." And he said, "Nah, you'll see. You'll see." Okay, so you're going to come back anyway after I told you that? There's people that can come up to me and ask me out. I've had that happen. And I say I have a boyfriend, and they said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope that you guys stay together," or not like that, but like, "I hope that you guys are good," or "I'm sorry to bother you then. Oh, he's a lucky man. Bye-bye." You know, there's been times where people have done it and it has been completely fine and I haven't been threatened. But when you do shit like that, that's just straight up fucking disrespectful, and I don't like it because you've just disrespected Kyle, you've disrespected me, and I just don't appreciate that shit. So, yeah, I just often wonder, I'm like, what the fuck would you do if this shit was happening to your sister in front of you, bro? Like, I don't have family members that care about me, dude. Like, just ignorant men. And there are really good men out there. There are men that have asked me out and have been very, very polite about it. Hence, Kyle. He never flirted with me, ever. Never flirted with me when we were first I knew him from working at my old liquor store. Like, we'd talk about the day, talk about life sucking, and then he would just leave. And he thought it was mysterious, you know, because he didn't do that. When you don't get up in a girl's face and attack the fuck out of her like that by catcalling all that shit, you're much more likely to get a fucking date, dude. Yeah, that's for like the 2 men that maybe listen to this. But yeah, so that was a little story and some fun topics, I think. So that's where I'm going to end this week's podcast. I hope that you guys have a wonderful fucking Halloween and you guys have stayed safe. And, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas are coming. I'm very excited. And also thank you for bearing with me while I wasn't very steady. I took 2 weeks off. I was just kind of running out of content, to be honest. But now that I just kind of got to think about some stuff and get some stuff situated, I was definitely glad to come back on and talk to you guys. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.